You didn't ask for too much. Read that again. You didn't. You asked for consistency. You asked for effort. You asked for honesty. That's not too much. That's the bare minimum. But the way they reacted made you feel like it was too much. Every time you expressed something, they pulled away. Every time you asked for clarity, they got distant. Every time you needed reassurance, they made you feel needy. And slowly, you started questioning yourself. Am I asking for too much? Am I expecting too much? Should I just stay quiet? And that's where everything changed. Because instead of them stepping up, you started stepping down. You lowered your expectations. You silenced your needs. You stopped expressing fully, not because your needs disappeared, but because you were scared of pushing them away. And that fear controlled everything. So you became easier to deal with, easier to please, easier to keep, but harder to recognize. Because now, you weren't even being yourself anymore. You were being a version that wouldn't scare them away. And that's where you lost. Not because you asked for too much, but because you stopped asking at all. And that creates a different kind of pain. The silent kind. The kind where everything looks okay, but inside, you feel empty. Because your needs are not being met, and you're not even speaking about it anymore. That's the worst place to be. Not fighting, not arguing, just slowly disconnecting from them and from yourself. And deep down, you knew it wasn't right. You knew something was missing, but you convinced yourself this is better than losing them. So you stayed quiet, you tolerated more, you accepted less, you adjusted again and again and again. Until one day, you didn't recognize yourself anymore. You weren't expressive. You weren't open. You weren't even asking for what you deserved. And that's when it hits you. You didn't ask for too much. You just asked the wrong person, because the right person wouldn't make you feel guilty for having needs. They wouldn't make you feel weak for wanting consistency. They wouldn't make you feel too much for asking for the basics. They would understand. They would respect it. They would meet you halfway because they want to keep you, not just have you. And there's a difference, a big one. Someone who just wants to have you will give you just enough to keep you around, but never enough to truly satisfy you. And that's what you were dealing with. Minimum effort, maximum confusion. And you stayed because you thought if you just became easier, things would get better. But they didn't. Because you can't build something real by ignoring what you need. You can't feel secure when you're constantly suppressing yourself. And you can't feel valued when you're being tolerated instead of appreciated. That's the truth. And once you understand that, you stop blaming yourself. You stop thinking you're too much. You stop shrinking your needs because you realize your needs were never the problem. The person you gave them to was. And now you move differently. Now you don't beg for consistency. You expect it. You don't chase clarity. You require it. You don't silence yourself to keep someone. You speak, even if it risks losing them. Because now you understand, the right person won't leave because you expressed your needs. They'll stay because they respect them. And anyone who leaves was never meant to meet you at your level anyway. So no, you didn't ask for too much. You just asked someone who was never capable of giving it. And that's not your fault. But now, it's your responsibility to choose better. And you will. Because now you finally understand the difference.